High energy, Tommy. Don't put that in the starter or I'll kill you. G'day guys, welcome back to the channel here at Fully Synced. For those of you that don't know who I am that Sean fella that the red-headed Irish dude told you about when doing his Couchbot tutorial. Hope you've gone and checked that out and become more knowledgeable because of that. Nonetheless, my name is Sean and I stream part-time on YouTube and Twitch 3 nights a week. You can find me at twitch.tv/thatravaged or on YouTube by searching for That Ravaged Show. We'll put some links in the description below to save you some time. The reason we're here today is actually to show you how to make your YouTube streams a little bit more engaging, if you will. Now, not to say that YouTube streams in general can't be engaging, because they can be, but often a lot of people find themselves to be envious of Twitch because Twitch has channel points and redemptions and all those sorts of neat little gadgets that can add some flair to their stream. And until now, there hasn't really been any tutorial videos that I've seen, at least, that shows you how to do that. Well, thankfully, old mate Sean is here to save the day, and I found out a way on how you can actually do it. So stick around, we'll teach you how to do it. Alright, so a few things you're going to need in order to make this work on YouTube, because the problem with YouTube, although it's a great platform and I've enjoyed streaming on it, it doesn't have direct support between YouTube and the programs that we're going to be using. So you kind of have to make a long daisy chain, if you will. One has to tell one what to do, that will tell something else what to do, and tell another thing what to do, to eventually get the end result back to the start. Now, unfortunately, I know it's a bit of a dick around, but once you follow these steps and you put it in place, it will work. And I'll show you the evidence at the end of this video of a stream that I did a couple of weeks ago where this very redemption that I will teach you how to add actually worked from using this method. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing you're going to need, obviously, is OBS Studio. Now, this may possibly work on Streamlabs and XSplit as well. However, I myself have not tested, so I can't verify that. Because I know this method works, we're going to use OBS Studio. So just head on over to obsproject.com. We'll leave links for all these websites in the description below. And when you install those, obviously install, run, and have OBS set up. The next thing you're going to need, which is very, very crucial, you need to have this part here, is you'll need the OBS WebSocket. We'll again leave links, but if you type in OBS WebSocket into Google, this will come up. The latest version at the time of this recording is 4.9.1, which is advised using whichever the latest release is available at the time of you watching this video. You just simply click on that, and then when you scroll down to the bottom here, there's an option to do Windows Installer, EXE, or the zip file. I would recommend, as many other videos have as well, just click the Windows Installer. I've already done it, so I'm not going to redo it, but I'll click the Windows Installer. I will then run the installer, and it'll install everything into OBS for you. The third thing you'll need, of course, is your YouTube channel. Now, a very important note about this on the YouTube side of things is, if you have not streamed on your YouTube channel before, you will indeed need to wait 24 hours after you've enabled live streaming for your channel before you can action anything. So if you have not done that, you will need to come back 24 hours later before you can try any other process after this. The fourth thing you're going to need is actually a Restream account. So when you go to Restream.io, Restream.io is a website for you that allows you to multi-stream to several different live stream platforms such as Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, DLive, Trovo, the whole works. And if you want to expand on your brand in multiple servers, and it migrates all your chats from every platform into one chat window so you can see everyone's messages. You will need this purely just to stream to YouTube solely, though. This is how this is going to work. Alright, now that we have the Restream account set up, the next thing you're going to need is Touch Portal. You need to go to touch-portal.com. What Touch Portal is, for those of you unaware of this, is a alternative to Stream Deck or Leon board, which is like a macro action station. You use it via your mobile phone, as opposed to a Stream Deck, which is a physical unit with software you download from Elgato externally. This website provides the software. You can then need to download the app onto your mobile device via the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, and put it onto your device and connect it either wirelessly via Wi-Fi on the same internet connection or via USB directly into your computer. The choice is yours. You'll need this, but the last thing you'll need, which is another crucial point, the second crucial plugin you'll need for this whole thing, you will need the Restream plugin. But in saying this, this is where you will need to pay for one one particular license. It's the only thing you really need to pay for to get this to work properly. If you already have a Touch Portal license, then kudos to you, you're one step ahead of the curve. But if you don't, it's only $25 Australian. You just buy it once, that's it. And instead of just these free services you get here, as you can see, Restream is available here, because you're gonna need this plugin in particular to be able to get Restream to connect to Touch Portal, which completes the final bit of the puzzle before then going to OBS. To install the plugin, however, you just need to scroll down to the very bottom of the page on Touch Portal's main home site. Scroll down to popular plugins, click view all plugins, scroll down on the view all plugins page until we find Restream, which I think I've gone past it. Yes, I have, they've moved it. Restream would be found in the middle here. You just click more info, go to website, it'll redirect you to an external site to download in about 5 seconds. If not, you just click the link that they provide and you click this download button here. Now I'm gonna re-download it just for the arguments of re-downloading it. You download it, it'll come up with this Touch Portal Restream TPP. TPP is a Touch Portal plugin file. So now that we've done all that, we can close this down, we can close that down. The next step we need to do is to open Touch Portal. You come up here with this main screen of Touch Portal. You'll notice down here, you'll say device not connected. What you need to do is go up to your mobile phone device. You need to open this up. You'll need to download the Touch Portal app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store if you're an Apple user. It will come up with this screen here. And then usually you need to make sure that the web address here, the 192.168.20.8 is exactly the same as the Wi-Fi address here, or the internet IP right here. Or you can just connect via USB direct from your phone, device, tablet. It works on tablet as well, I should mention. From the device to your PC. You just push a refresh button. In this case, mine automatically connected, but you just push refresh. It just does a quick refresh, and at the bottom here, right corner, you'll see it says connected to Android. You only need to do this once. As long as Touch Portal remains open on your desktop and you've done the connection, you don't need to do that anymore. That's up and running. If you do not do this, very important, if you do not do this step of connecting them together, you will not, it will not work in tandem. It's just the one won't register with the other. As long as you have to have a device connected in order to do that. And you will need the mobile phone device upgrade to the Pro version of Touch Portal. You cannot really do it from the desktop, I believe. And then when it connects to your mobile phone, it registers that you have a Pro account, which will then allow you to do this next step, which is to add the Restream plugin onto Touch Portal. So to do that, we go up to this little spanner icon up the top here, we click that, and we click the second option, which is import plugin. Now you can see I've downloaded this more than once, but we're gonna just go with the one I recently downloaded for this purpose of the video. Click the Touch Portal Restream TPP file, click open, and it will say plugin imported successful. Okay, it says something about Java or whatever, then just click trust always. That's fine. When it does this, it'll come up with your option with a prompt for you to authorize your account. You just click allow, and it will come up saying automatically plugins authorized, and then you can close this tab. So now that we've done that, we can close that. We don't need that anymore. So the next step is we need to go back to our OBS, because we need to put a redemption in order for this to work. Now, without a redemption, this whole thing is pointless. So we're gonna add in a classic redemption that I like to use, and one that I've used on my stream, which is an explosion on screen. We're gonna show you guys how to blow stuff up on your stream. It's pretty cool. So first thing we need to do on our OBS is go down to our scenes, and as you can see, there is just the main scene with the display capture, which is what you see. The reason why I say we add a scene and not a source or anything like that is nested scene. We're adding what we call a nested scene. Now, a nested scene is a neat way of keeping all your redemptions together, and then whenever you want to add those to any other source in any other scene, it's easier just to add that nested scene into your sources, and anything in that nested scene will apply to that scene that you've added it to. I'll explain more in the doing side of things here. So what we'll do is we'll click the add icon in the scene list. It will say scene 2. We're going to call this redemptions. Now you see it comes up with a new scene. It's a black screen here, and what we're going to do is then move to our sources tab, click plus, click add media source explosion, because that's what we're putting in there. It'll ask us to browse for the local file, but firstly what you need to do is turn off restart playback when source becomes active. The reason for this is if you put this nested scene inside of several other scenes and you leave that unchecked, you leave that checked, every time you switch scenes it's going to play it. It doesn't matter whether touch portal triggers it or not, it's just always going to play it. And if you've got a scene that is completely amplified in decibels to try and be a jump scare for yourself, like I've got on my stream with a couple, it's going to happen every time you change scenes, and it's not going to be pleasant for your viewers. So you need to turn restart playback off, and just leave show nothing when playback ends, purely because let's say a meme finishes and if it's got a still image at the end, you don't want that sitting on your stream after it's finished. So once you've done that, you've left that show nothing when ends, that means that the video will then disappear and you'll go back to normal. Now we want to go back to our downloads. This is one that I downloaded earlier, our free green screen explosion, and we just tested it works, go okay, bang, there we go. So as you can see, we've got one slight issue with this, and that's the fact that it's a green screen. We need to remove that green screen. Simple to do. We just right click on our explosion, click filters, and under effect filters we clicked plus icon and chroma key. Now the chroma key, you can leave it named as chroma key, you don't have to call it anything else. Now it typically would remove the color green. This video has the right shade of green, so there's no rule altering you have to do. So as soon as I click this replay button here, this refresh button, this should play. You'll see in a little window here that it should play the explosion without the green screen. Bang, there we go. There's a little spill of green on the edges of the explosion, but for now we can just leave it because this is purely just showing you how to set this up, not necessarily fine-tuning it. Let's close that, and now we've got our green screen. But now we notice that it's not going to show up on our main scene because it's only coming up on the redemptions. So we go back to our main scene here, we go to our sources, we click the plus icon, and then we click scene. And then when we click the scene, it'll ask us to create a new one or add an existing scene. Now we want to add an existing scene, which is redemptions. We click OK. When we go to redemptions, if we trigger this off and then quickly switch back to our main scene, we'll see that it's still playing without any interruptions as if it would have been set off on our main scene. Let's test that now. There you go. As you can see, it works just the way it should. That's all set up the way we need it to. One thing I forgot to mention when you actually import the plugin for Restream into Touch Portal is you do need to actually tell Touch Portal to start the plugin. So to do that, you just go up to your cogwheel at the top here. You go to your plugins in the settings, and it will say here plugin settings, import plugin with a drop down menu. We want to drop down that menu. We want to click on the Touch Portal. Oh, it's actually sometimes this doesn't work straight away. We've trusted it, so it's obviously starting. If it always checks this just in case, that if this doesn't work, that you want to click start, it will then verify your account. In this case, it's done it already, so we can just save that. The next thing you want to do is set up the event for it to trigger itself. So what we need to do in our Touch Portal is go over to the events menu and click add an event. Now we want to give our event a name, so we'll just call it bang. That's what we're going to call it. Just bang, because we want to end it with a bang. Once we've given it a title, we want to go to the event itself. Now, when we drop down the event, typically on Touch Portal, you'll have OBS, XSplit, Streamlabs OBS, Twitch, and File.io commands. Restream as a name will not be there. So what we need to do is actually go to plugin 17, which is what the Restream plugin falls under. We don't want to add any cooldown. We're not going to queue it because we don't have any other redemptions. When you've clicked when the plugin state changes on plugin 17, it'll come up with an option here saying when the plugin state blank changes to blank, then it will have a flow of actions. So the first thing you want to do is drop down that menu, and you want to find Restream last YouTube text message. Leave this option as changes to, and we're going to go exclamation mark bang. And once that's set up here, you'll say when the plugin state changes, when the plugin state Restream last YouTube text message changes to exclamation mark bang, we then need to tell the flow of actions. Now the flow of actions is what is OBS supposed to do, or what is a computer meant to do, or what is meant to happen when someone does something using the text into YouTube, which then gets sent to Restream. We need to go to our side menu here, find the OBS drop down menu, scroll down to the bottom until you find one called Media Source Restart. You click that, it'll add that into the flow of actions, and in the Restart Media Source you want to drop that down and you want to select Explosion, which is the video we put in and took a green screen away from. We then go and click Save. That's all set up and ready to go. All your coding or your preparation has done as such. Now, the last thing we need to do is then go live onto YouTube. Now, full disclosure, I tried to do this before. I tried to test it on YouTube and go live to my channel several times using this, but because I've already set it up on my streaming computer here, which is where the webcam here is being recorded, it wouldn't let me do it based on 2 logins here. So as a personal favor to you guys, I've actually gone through one of my old VODs on YouTube, watched it on a browser, and included it here right after this of the said redemption working, as one of my friends I was playing Splitgate with actually redeemed the redemption using the same command, and the same redemption of Explosion comes up on my screen. Enjoy and see the final result. Oh no. And there you have it. That is how you set up your redemptions on YouTube. It's a bit of a convoluted way, I know. It's not the most reliable thing to do, because sometimes when someone redeems something, and then even without a cooldown they redeem it again, it may not trigger the second or the third time, or may only trigger the third time and not the second. It can be a bit funny sometimes, but I guarantee you it does work. Once set up correctly, once you've got your plugins all connected. The other thing I would suggest is just double check that your OBS WebSocket is connected through localhost and all 4s. There is tutorials on how to do that as well. I look forward to seeing if you enjoyed the video, or if you watched this video to the end, leave ! redemption in the comment. If you liked what we did on the channel today, please hit us with a like and subscribe and get us noticed, and hopefully we can bring this information out to everybody else to see. Please don't forget to give us a subscribe on my YouTube channel, which is at That Ravage Show. Again, links in the description below. Also check out my counterpart for this channel, Tomo IRL, who streams solely on YouTube. He's an absolute cracker of a gentleman. Go check him out as well. And until next time, stay classy.